one of the big questions everyone asked about Mac Jones when he was first drafted was how he would handle trying to follow in Tom Brady's footsteps. And being in Wisconsin and not there very often, he was asked about that today.
I think Tom Brady's the greatest quarterback to ever play in the NFL. So to follow up on him, it's just trying to chase the standard that he set every day. And honestly, we're definitely two different players, and that's the only advice I'd have. And just continue to grow and be yourself, right? That's all you can do is put your best foot forward and compete. But yeah, it's definitely big shoes to fill. I got drafted like 3 years ago, so it's just trying to move on from like that part of it and understanding how you can set the standard that he already had set, you know. So for us, it's just every year is a new year. You got to go out there and earn it.
Beetle, you chuckled a little bit as Curran rejoins the conversation. Why did you chuckle?
Oh, I chuckled because I think that was his way of kindly telling the reporter, yeah, I'm all set answering these questions. I've been in the league now for 2+ years. This is my 3rd year. Thanks for asking.
How do you, though, think, Curran, Mac Jones has handled? I mean, it's never easy to be the guy following the guy. And he also hasn't always been put in the best situation. How do you feel that at least he's handled the pressure of taking over a premier franchise in the NFL?
Okay-ish. I think last year they so hamstrung him that, I mean, you just can't. Last year they took so many steps backward. You had what amounted to pretty much a perfect succession, even though the Patriots dumbed into it with Mac Jones. You had a bridge year with Cam Newton. Then you had Mac Jones come in, and I actually thought it was smart whether Belichick told him to do it or he decided on his own. He wouldn't talk specifically about Brady. This is the first time he's uttered really anything at length about Brady, and I did ask the follow about how much the shadow does chase Mac Jones, because as Greg's talking about, the plays that we're watching in training camp when Jordan Love is dictating to the Patriots defense, we used to come to these joint practices and watch jaws drop among the other beat writers from the other teams at just the mastery of Brady and the Patriots, the workman-like, machine-like production that they showed. And it just doesn't exist anymore. So you're always going to have a pining, I think, for, my God, it was that good.
Yeah, I mean, I know you laugh, Beetle, a little bit at like, oh, he's been in here in the league 3 years, or he laughs at that. But the reality is, Greg, that all we ever talk about is this is a team that is still operating as if Tom Brady is going to walk through that door. So I think until they take that next step forward, it doesn't matter who's in that spot. You have to be sort of comfortable with the idea that you might be the one that you have to be the person. You have to take control and be good enough that people don't need to talk about Tom Brady. They can talk about him in the past, and they can talk about you as the future.
Yeah, it's just it didn't surprise me that question came up today here, because from being here and covering the Packers, history is literally on every street corner around here. I mean, you know, they'll ask questions about Bart Starr and, you know, the tradition of that. And, you know, it's interesting to compare it to the Patriots, where that's all new to the Patriots in terms of, you know, being a legendary franchise. And you know, look, I think Mac has done fine with it. I do think that, you know, having Cam as sort of a bridge year helped things. But I do think the specter of Bill Belichick, you know, is a huge factor in all this, that it's not, you know, going from Vince Lombardi to, you know, Mike Sherman and Mike McCarthy and now Matt LaFleur. You know, it's Bill's still there. So Bill's the constant. It's his scheme. It's what he does. He makes all the football decisions. So I do think that takes a little bit of the pressure off that would normally be there, like when I covered Aaron Rodgers following Brett Favre. I think one thing, too, that we look at here, and Greg pointed out, you know, the receivers that Green Bay has who can go down the field for Jordan Love. Mac Jones is on a rookie contract. He's making, what, $3 million in base salary this year, if even that. And they have $16 million in cap space, yet they pushed away from the table on DeAndre Hopkins. They really didn't go bananas anywhere in the draft for their offensive players. Their tight end room is very, very shallow and guys on one-year deals. They just haven't done enough, to your point, Trenni, in thinking that the quarterback is going to fix things, or the scheme is going to fix things, or we're going to outsmart people with our defense. And that's where I think the Patriots are themselves stuck in a Brady shadow.
Yeah, and Beatles, just to get the last word from you. I mean, I also feel like that might have been Mac's frustration today when he has to answer questions about like, yeah, I'm still in the shadow of Tom Brady, but if you look what I've had to deal with the first couple of years that I've been here, especially last year, yeah.
I'm on year 3, and the thing that we haven't even mentioned, guys, is that he's also on year 3 with another new offensive coordinator, right? Another year, and it's a different guy that he's sort of reporting to on a day-to-day basis and working through game planning with all the time. And so there have been changes personnel-wise, there's been a lack of talent personnel-wise, and there have been coaching changes. It has not been easy for Mac Jones over the first 3 years. They could have done a better job of setting him up for success.